Today we will discuss few more definitions of vectors. Okay. First we will discuss localized and non-localized vectors. Localized and non-localized vectors. Non-localized vectors. What are localized vectors? Those vectors which have a fixed initial point. Those vectors which have a fixed initial point are known as localized vectors. वो vectors जिनका initial point fixed होता है. For example, displacement. We start covering distance from a particular point.
Yes,
from a
sir.
particular
Point.
Therefore, its initial point is fixed. Its initial point is, for example, in case of a game of athletics. जब athletics के बारे में हम बात करते हैं, athletics में जो athlete होता है वो start करता है किसी fixed point से दौड़ना. ठीक है ना बेटा? समझ आ रहा है ना?
Yes,
वो
sir.
किसी फिक्स्ड पॉइंट से स्टार्ट करता है रेस करना. तो इट इज इनिशियल पॉइंट इज फिक्स्ड. दिस डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय वेक्टर नोन एज लोकलाइज्ड वेक्टर. क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
समझ आया?
Yes, sir.
लिख के रखो. दोज वेक्टर्स whose initial point is fixed are known as localized vectors. Those vectors whose initial point is fixed are known as localized vectors. Are known as localized vectors. For example, displacement. For example, displacement. And what are non-localized vectors? Those vectors whose initial point is not fixed. Whose initial point is not fixed. That's known as non-localized vectors. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Those vectors whose initial point is not fixed are known as non-localized vectors. Are known as non-localized vectors. Non-localized vectors are also known as free vectors. These are also known as free vectors. इनको free vectors भी हम कहते हैं.
For example?
For example, we increase the speed at any instant of time. We don't have a fixed point to increase the speed. We can increase it at any instant of time during the displacement. So velocity becomes the, or we can say this velocity or speed with direction becomes the non-localized vector or free vector. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now we will discuss collinear vectors. What are collinear vectors? Those vectors which act along a straight line in the same direction. Those vectors which act along a straight line in the same direction are known as collinear vectors. For example, this is vector A and this is vector B. They are acting along the same line. These are known as collinear vectors. These are known as collinear vectors. वो vectors जो act होंगे along a straight line in the same direction, they are known as collinear
Vectors.
However, sometimes these vectors act in two different directions as well. They are also considered to be collinear. Sometimes they act in two different directions, but along a straight line, like this. This is vector A and this is vector B. They are acting in two different directions. They are also considered to be collinear. They are also considered to be
Collinear.
Moreover, we have parallel and anti-parallel vectors. We have parallel and they are also considered to be collinear vectors. They are also considered to be collinear vectors. For example, this is vector A and this is vector B. These are parallel vectors acting along the same line. They are also treated as collinear vectors. They are also treated as collinear.
Vectors.
Similarly, we have vector A and we have vector B, which is anti-parallel to vector A, which is anti-parallel to vector. It's also considered to be a collinear vector. These are also considered to be collinear vectors. Clear?
Sir, इनका ये initial point same होता है?
Not necessary. They have the same initial point. They can also have different initial points, but these are treated as collinear vectors. Clear? Therefore, we can say parallel vectors, anti-parallel vectors. They are also the subtypes of collinear vectors. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we will discuss a new topic, that is addition of vectors. That is addition of vectors. This is most important topic.